can't believe
Oh
it.
my gosh, he has teeth or something in there.
All right, I want to welcome you to this episode of BTR Outdoors. On this episode, we'll be discussing things you might not know about Texas state parks. So stay tuned, and we'll get started. All right, so number one, probably, and this is probably my favorite, is you don't need a fishing license when you're fishing in a Texas state park. There are 89 total state parks in Texas. There's 70 of them that offer fishing, so you have a pretty good chance to live within driving distance on one of them. So what this means is, for fishing from the bank inside a state park or any kind of water in a state park, you don't need a fishing license. So this is an easy way to be able to go out and take your family for a day of fishing. Most or almost every one of the state parks have boat docks, fishing docks, places for you to fish. A lot of them even sell bait. A lot of them even have supplies where you can rent or borrow, like fishing poles and fishing tackle. So if you have somebody in your family that wants to learn how to fish, this is the best way to be able to go out there and teach them how to fish. I thought this was a great program when it started. It just gets people out there fishing. All right, if you're interested in getting a fishing license, they're not that expensive. I think for a freshwater fishing license, around $30 if you're a resident of Texas. But I will give you a list of the costs for a fishing license, because I'll warn you, if you don't have one and you're caught, it can be up to a $500 fine. And the most expensive part is, let's say if you do have fish that you caught illegally, you have to pay restitution on those fish, and that can get really expensive. So go out there and purchase you a fishing license, help out Texas fishing, and get out there and enjoy the outdoors. Also, if you're under 17 in the state of Texas, you don't need a fishing license. If you're a person born before January 1st, 1931, you don't need a fishing license. I also know they have discount fishing license for seniors. So with this information, you can determine what kind of license you need, if you actually need a license, or if you go into a state park, you won't need a license to fish. But either way, make sure that you're obeying the laws. Go out there and get you a fishing license and enjoy the outdoors. And also, if you want to know the rules about fishing, they have the official app of Texas Hunting, Fishing, and Boating Regulations that you can go download, and tells you size limits, how many fish you can catch, how big they have to be. Also, they, at any bait store, places where you get fishing license, or even at the state parks, you can get a Texas Park and Wildlife Fishing Regulations book. It's a real handy book that you can throw in your tackle box, and if you're not sure about a size limit or how many you can catch, it's easy to look up. So keep that in mind, and if you see one, pick one up. Number two, and this was also a very good one, is you can make reservations online now. You can buy your day passes, you can rent your camping spots, and one cool thing about that is they actually have pictures, multiple pictures of each camping spot. So you can see what your camping spot looks like before you even reserve it. So I think that's a really neat program. So it makes you can plan in advance, and I recommend that because they do fill up easy. So you can always try to get your favorite spot, or you can try a new spot and see what it looks like before you even get there. So take advantage of online reservations. All right, another thing you might not know about Texas state parks is they have several different types of ranger programs. One of the best one I like is kids fishing. They'll have certain days they'll have kids fishing derbies where they can have they teach them how to fish. They will have contests like who can catch the most fish, the biggest fish. They'll usually supply all the fishing poles, the tackle, the bait, or you can bring your own. but it's a good way to get kids introduced into fishing. And that's just teaching our next generation, how to fish. And that's where my love of fishing started from a very young age, going out with my dad, my cousins, my uncles. We would always go fishing, and that's where the love of fishing came from. Still to this day, I could go fishing every day if you let me. So this is a great program to get kids introduced into fishing. Another program which I really enjoy also is called Stargazing. Several of the parks in Texas are considered dark skies parks, and what that means is they're far enough away from light pollution, big cities, and where the sky really opens up and you can see all the stars. When I was in the Navy, one of my favorite things I used to like doing is at night going out on deck and looking up at the stars and seeing the Milky Way and how beautiful it was, and all the stars. I mean, the whole sky is covered in stars. Where if you live in the city or by a lot of lights, you look up and you see a few stars. You might see the Big Dipper, the North Star, the Little Dipper, stuff like that, but there's so many. There's millions and millions of stars that you can't see when you live in a city or if you're in or around the city. So you get out there in these dark places, and what's sad is it's stated that 80% of Americans have never seen the Milky Way due to light pollution. So take advantage of these programs. And what's cool is you go out there and you have a ranger. You can meet up there for meteor showers, comets. I'll leave you a link in the description, and plus I'll give you some information right here where you can go and see what dates they offer all this stuff and what parks offer it, so you can make your plans. But they teach you about constellations. Everybody brings their telescopes, and people are so friendly that they let you use their telescopes if you don't have one. A lot of times you can just bring something as simple as binoculars and see wonderful stuff just with binoculars. But everybody's real friendly. They let you use their telescopes. They let you look through and see stuff, see planets, stars, and it's just a wonderful time to see and learn about astronomy. So take advantage of this program. You will love it, trust me. All right, I just wanted to show you my telescope. That's why I really love the stargazing at our Texas state parks, is I'm really into astronomy. I've had this one for several years. It's a awesome telescope. It's an Orion Deep Space Probe 130 millimeters, and I will give you the information on that if you're interested, or I can answer any questions that you might have about it, because I really do love this telescope. Okay. Like I said, I've always another aspect of Texas state parks that you might not know about is bird watching. And I know some people say bird watching, but you know what? It's a pretty neat thing that they've added. Most state parks will have I guess blinds, places where you can observe birds. Each park has a checkoff list, and I'll give you that information also, that while you're bird watching, you can check off all the different species of birds that you see. So every state park has a unique type of birds that live around that area. So every state park's a little bit different. So each one you can go to, you can get that checkoff list, and it's a real cheap hobby. At some binoculars or just using your eyes, looking around and seeing all the birds, the wildlife, which at most state parks I have seen so much wildlife at state parks, from armadillos to raccoons, rabbits, deer, owls, different type of birds. They do a really good job, and there's always so much wildlife around. You just have to stop, look, listen, and you can see them. But bird watching is a huge thing in the Texas state parks. It has gained a lot of popularity. Just people enjoy it, and they make it challenging and give you little checkoff lists, see if you can see all the birds that live in the area. So don't forget about bird watching. Okay, one of the last things I'll talk about is things you might not know about Texas state parks is you can purchase a Texas state park pass. And I will give you information on this also, and what this gives you is you don't have to pay the entry fees when you're going into a state park. You don't have to pay it for yourself or anybody in your vehicle. The cost is $70 a year. If you're like me, I have a state park really close to my house, within 15 minutes of my house. I also have several state parks within a couple hours away, and it really pays for itself for me because I'm always going to state parks. I love state parks. So this thing right here is worth the money. But I will give you information how you can purchase these. You can purchase them online, or you can buy them at any state park. Oh, also there's a couple other benefits. Is I know sometimes you get discounts for multiple stays if you have a Texas state park pass. So you might get a discount on your second or third night. I really can't remember it, but I'll give you that information so you can look it up yourself. But trust me, go out and get you one. And these, in turn, this really helps the state parks because this money goes for upkeep, wildlife management, and different things like that. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I just wanted to give you a little bit of information about our Texas state parks. I've always loved our state parks. I've always grown up or been around state parks. I've gone camping, hiking. They offer so much, but a lot of these things that people might not know they offer. And there's so much more, from mountain biking to hiking, like I said, to geocaching, which we've done that in the past, and I'll tell you what, that is pretty fun. There's so many things that you could do at a state park that you just might not know about. So go out to your local state park and talk to the rangers, talk to the people in the office. They are so knowledgeable, and they're there to help you. A lot of them even have just normal people that live there for an extended amount of time that give tours, depending on the state park. A lot of them, there's forts. There's so many different things that you could do, but find those people out. They're so willing to give you the information, and you'll be surprised of how many things that the Texas state parks offer that you didn't know about. All right, y'all have a good one, and we'll catch you later on the next video.